Hey guys, so my name is Leila Khan. I think it's been really interesting the past few days. There's just been so much happening with my book and the Oscars, and there's lots of new people in the tribe and the vibe. So I wanted to just say hey to everybody. So it will be awesome when you come online to share where you are, share where you're at. I wanted to do something different. So I'm a teacher. For those of you who don't know, I'm a teacher by background. I am teaching French and Spanish in secondary schools. That's been what I've done forever. And I now teach personal development and self-mastery in my Trailblazers Mentorship, which is a coaching and mentoring program, and it is just like the best. It's such a joy. It is such a joy for me to teach what I love, which is humans and human behavior and thoughts and the power of our mind and stuff. So I had a thought this morning that I'd do something different and actually kind of share with you a class and some thoughts and my own teachings about how we can find our feet as women to be empowered in the world that we live in today. And there's going to be a lot of content as well, so I definitely say make sure you've got a piece of paper and a pen, and that you're taking notes as well. Maybe I'll speak for about half an hour. I've got quite a bit to cover, half an hour, 40 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. And this is something that I could talk about forever. There is so much to share here. There is so much, really valuable kind of wisdom and lessons that I've learned over the years. And it's really important, super important for me to share this stuff with you. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Leila Khan, and I'm the author of this book, 101 Plus Ways to Overcome Life's Biggest Obstacles, which is a guide to handling any problem with ease. And in here, I teach strategy. I teach you how to overcome depression, stress, loneliness, overcome abuse, which is the page that I'm on, which was my personal experience, started, very much from my childhood, jealousy, low self-confidence, and so on. And so I've always had this deep love and this desire to celebrate being a woman and celebrating other women as well. And the world that we live in at the moment is obvious. It is a patriarchal world. It's based on patriarchal beliefs and ideas that kind of basically men rule the roost, or men are the decision makers, and that women don't have much of a place. Even just saying that to me just feels really outdated. And things are changing, and this is the really exciting thing about the time that we are in now. This is the time for women to start kind of rising up in their own energy, start rising in their essence, to step into their authentic shoes. And we're doing this alongside men who want to see women as equals, want to see women celebrated, and that inequality, is steeped in so much of our lives, from the kind of marketplace, from jobs and career situations, from family backgrounds, cultural expectations, religious interpretations as well. And I think it's really important just to remember that there are so many things that aren't necessarily true, and that we can actually take back our power. Hi, Shaima! Oh my God, so cool that you're here. Shaima is my best mate. We've known each other since we were 4 years old, and I love that she's here. Oh my gosh, girl. So this is for us, right? So she's been part of the journey. I get so excited. This has been part of the journey, finding out who I am as a girl, as a woman in this world, which didn't seem to value my gender, and didn't seem to value my my beliefs and, you know, what felt really true for me. So I wanted to put this class together to share some wisdom, some lessons with you all, and to just remind ourselves, you know, to remind ourselves that we are incredible women. Oh, yes, yes, yes. We are supporting strong women. So one woman supporting another woman, it means the world. Yay! Hey, dude. Hey, Ollie. This is so cool. So what I want to do is to remind everybody, okay, that our capacity to love, to heal, and to thrive as women is absolutely incredible, no matter the circumstances that we have been through. I love the likes and the hearts and all of that. It keeps us all going. So our capacity to love, to heal, and to thrive is absolutely incredible, okay? No matter what the circumstances. Now, this particular class is going to be about the journey of becoming an empowered woman. And what's really important for me to say, especially at this stage, is that there is no man-hating here, okay? This is not a man-hating zone. I have so much love and respect for men. The men that are in my life are just absolutely amazing. They're so supportive, so encouraging, so caring and loving, obviously in a platonic way. But there is so much respect there. And when I was growing up, that's not something that I grew up with. I didn't grow up with many positive examples of men. And it is quite astonishing, considering the experiences that I've had with men in my life, that I have so much respect for them. We are all equal. I do believe that we are equal. There are imbalances, and this is why I wanted to put this class together. There are imbalances, and this is why we've got days like today, like International Women's Day, is to remind women that actually you are an equal, but things have been imbalanced for such a long time, and it is time for us to start creating an equal playing field where we are all encouraging and supporting and loving one another unconditionally, and doing this to bring out the best of each person, right? So this class is all about the journey of becoming an empowered woman, loving and respecting men. There's no men hating. And also as well, I do just want to say that even where I'm talking about women specifically in this class, hey Abby, where I'm talking about women specifically in this class, it doesn't diminish anything about men and the role that they play. And I'll be honest, I sometimes struggle about just focusing on female issues when it comes to well-being and mindset and overcoming really deep trauma, because men have experienced that too. But I do just want to say that I'm not diminishing anything about men and their kind of presence, but I want to focus on us women, okay, because we absolutely deserve this. So first of all, recognize your value, okay? Recognizing our value as a woman. In some parts of the world, in some parts of our lives, it might be something which is really encouraged, and in other parts it might not be. To me personally, I didn't grow up necessarily being valued as a woman or being valued as a girl. The Asian culture, and this isn't limited, because I know this is part of, like, you know, aspects of the Chinese culture and African culture, girls aren't valued. Girls are, you know, in parts of India, in parts of Pakistan, parts of Saudi Arabia, and loads of other countries, girls they're buried alive for being born girls. And so for me, I grew up with that mindset and that fear of, like, oh my gosh, I'm a girl, like, am I not to be valued? Am I not to be respected? And that was something, you know, really, really challenging to come through and to work through, to realize that actually I am valuable. And the big lesson is that you have to choose to value yourself if you want others to value you. And it takes a long time, but the recognizing your value starts like now. It starts today, and you can for sure do this, where you can recognize your value right now and say, this is who I am as a person, as a woman, as a girl. I am valuable. and I'm deserving and I'm enough right here and right now. Me just being born and being alive is enough. And we don't need to look for any kind of acknowledgement or permission or validation or approval from anybody else. We just don't need to do that. It starts with you. It starts with acknowledging your value, recognizing your value, and then celebrating that. I am going to come on to that point later on as well. So there's so much to cover, and I know I'll probably won't get through everything, and I'll have to come back with more classes. Really, the journey of becoming an empowered woman, I'm going to take you through 3 kind of blocks. 3, they're not phases in terms of like, do this, then do this, then do this, and you'll get to become an empowered woman. This is a holistic way of being that I'd like to teach you here. And there are 3 main parts that I want to share with you, okay? So the first one is acknowledging the pain, okay? So acknowledging our emotional world, acknowledging things that have happened that have created some sort of trauma lodged in our bodies. Why this is really, really important is because we're human beings. We're here on a journey, for sure. All of us, men and women. We're human first. I always say this, we're human before we're kind of man or woman, because we are born with these mental capacities, emotional capacities, spiritual kind of capacity. You know, we have so much more to us than just our physical kind of body and gender. And there are transgender people in this world as well. And along the way, this journey called life, pain is inevitable. It doesn't have to be. I don't think humanity's got to that stage where we're kind of not learning through pain. We're not here to suffer, but acknowledging our pain is absolutely key to beginning the journey to thriving, to beginning the journey to loving ourselves as we really truly deserve. And it has to start with ourselves first. So acknowledging the pain, you know, so for myself, for example, like I said at the beginning, you know, it's quite cool that the page, you know, that I had opened to was overcoming abuse. My childhood was marred by domestic violence, by physical, emotional, mental, and sexual abuse. And that was all, you know, trauma that was lodged in my body. And things happened over time as well, where, you know, say the pain that I was kind of going through didn't just go like that. It took a long time. It took a lot of working through in order to be at this stage where I'm now thriving. And it meant what I had to do in order to come through everything that I had experienced was I had to acknowledge that I was in pain. So when we can look at ourselves through our kind of our human eyes and see that we are going through something, or we have been through something that has experienced around us, and it has created some sort of pain or suffering, anxiety, depression, we have to acknowledge that to be able to change it, to be able to shift it, to do something different. Because otherwise, what happens is the pattern of pain continues from, say, for example, one relationship to another relationship to another relationship, whether those relationships are friendship or intimate or family relationships. And that responsibility is ours. It's our own. As a woman, as a human, as a person, it is our responsibility to heal our own pain. You know, and I often say this as well, and I really do feel it, that I can't walk my clients' paths for them. You know, I can't heal them, all right? I'm the facilitator, I'm the coach, I'm the mentor, I'm the teacher. I've got the skills to enable them to walk through that space of pain, to come out of it thriving and happy and successful and joyful, you know. But we most certainly hold hands and walk that path. And when we've got women in our lives that can support us to walk through our pain and come out of it at the other end is just absolutely incredible. You know, whether they're our bestest friends, whether they are, you know, colleagues that we get on really well with, whether they are just somebody that we've met very briefly, very recently, or someone we've never met before, you know, somebody who we see online, you know, putting up videos on YouTube or whatever it might be, It's really, really important to have that support network around ourselves. So when we're dealing with pain, when we are going through pain and we're dealing with things like shame, guilt, fears, the illusion of jealousy, what has happened is we've actually closed our hearts. And we've closed our hearts for fear of threats and violence. This was definitely my situation, my kind of standing point, and it was really, really hard. Like, you know, like I said, it's not been easy, and it has taken diligence. It's taken, like, you know, chipping away day by day. I'm gonna work on jealousy, you know, today and for however long it takes me to overcome this idea of the lack of fulfillment in myself, and this idea that I am not worthy, and this idea that I can't love myself, because that's really what jealousy is. And jealousy is a comparison with somebody else, wishing and thinking that, you know, that you want to be like them or you want to have what they have, even though you don't actually have anything. Like, the fulfillment has to come from you. And so dealing with our pain, the shame of being a woman, the shame of you know, like, there is so much shame that's projected on us, you know. And I know it's the same for men as well. For some men, you know, what are you wearing, how are you dressed? Yeah, I was talking about this is such a big thing, so I'm going to share this with you. So over the past 2 weeks, there's been somebody, there's a man in my life who I know cares very, very deeply for me, who made a comment about, you know, an outfit or a couple of outfits that I've worn. He's never seen what I'm like outside, you know, like in kind of in my general life, and these were like dressed down outfits. And you know, he made a comment, and I was talking about nearly being 40 and how you know, in a couple of years' time, and you know, there's a couple of things about communication that I want to kind of work on improving in this particular relationship. And he then hit back with, well, you shouldn't dress the way that you dress. And I was like, hold on a second. First of all, that's my dress down version. Like, you know, you barely see anything to do with my figure. And it was really, really, really difficult for me to be in that space and to stay in that space where I didn't feel hurt. You know, and obviously I told him that I felt really hurt and I was upset and I was crying. And I'm still, this is the thing, these ideas are still out there, you know. And rather than hating on this person who I care very, very deeply for, rather than hating on this person, we engaged in conversation, and, you know, we've come to an agreement that, you know, like I said to him, you can't really disagree with this, but it's my body, it's my choice, my clothes, none of anybody else's business, you know. And this is so, so true. And that's a Leila's Wise vibe, so I'm going to be putting that out there soon. But this is true for all of us. We should be allowed to enjoy our bodies, enjoy what we, you know, what we want to wear, dress how we want to, and not have to consider or worry about what somebody else is going to say. You know, because that's none of their business. I was sharing this with a friend of mine a few days ago, and she's African, and you know, she was saying, well, it's the same thing in Africa as well. And she has similar conversations with women. You know, a woman recently in her life was judging her for her dress sense. So it is everywhere. And this is why recognizing your value is absolutely key, because you've got to know what is important to you. And when you know what's important to you, we're gonna come across people who are going to like butt heads with us, who are going to disagree with us and disagree with our point of view and with our perceptions and so on. And that's all cool. But it doesn't mean that you change your ways so completely to suit that other person. And this goes into kind of losing yourself and not losing yourself, making sure that you're not losing yourself. You know, knowing who you are, knowing what your value is, acknowledging the pain, working through the projected shame that as women we're not good enough, or that we should be a certain way, and that we should hold ourselves back, and you know, who are we to speak out, and who are we to stand up for ourselves? And it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. It's not real. And if we take those ideas on continually as girls, as women, then we are saying, that's okay then, fine, all right, if you tell me what to wear, then I'm going to do what you say. Or if you tell me not to speak up about this particular situation where I've been really hurt, or I've been abused, or I've been, you know, like taken for granted or taken advantage of, like, okay, if you say that I shouldn't speak out, then I won't. And that's not it. You have every single right as a woman to speak up and to say how you feel. You have every right to acknowledge your feelings for yourself and recognize where the gaps are, and hold yourself accountable for the learning of becoming more and more the woman that you want to become. Boom. You know, step into that space of saying, this is who I am as a woman, this is the color of my hair, this is the shape that I own, this is the height that I am. And we're all so different. Like, none of us are the same. Physically, none of us are the same. And so when it comes to you learning to love yourself and acknowledge yourself as the woman that you are, as the girl that you are becoming, or the girl that you are and the woman that you're becoming, then you can celebrate that. You know, acknowledge who you are and celebrate your difference. It's there for a reason. And one of the reasons that it's not there for you to dismiss and push away your difference. So this is one of the things that I've learned through life is, I am as I am, and that's totally okay. And I accept myself as I am, and as you are, I accept you. And that's it. You know, none of us are perfect, but exactly as we are right now, we're always good enough. Like, you are worthy of the woman that you are, 100%. And there are things that you've been through that require acknowledgement in order to help you become more of the true essence of the divine feminine, the woman that you really truly are. And there are incredible men out there who are supporting that journey as well. You know, it's really important to acknowledge that we're not on our own with this, but we do have to work through, you know, kind of opening our hearts when they've been closed for so long, for fear of threats or violence or kind of comebacks or whatever. Those threats can seem very, very real, and I'm speaking from personal experience. At some point, we have to acknowledge that I'm going to be responsible for speaking out. I'm going to be responsible for standing up for myself. I'm going to be responsible for saying no and upholding my boundaries, because no one else can speak on your behalf. And if you give away your power to somebody else, to a man or to another woman, if you give away your power in that, then they're going to run with it, you know. But most people, if not every person, definitely at some point in their lives is a hurt person, and we are, you know, living this world trying to acknowledge the hurts and move through them, yeah, so that we're in that true essence of who we really are. So healing anxiety, depression, fear-based living, stress, meeting others' needs, takes effort. Over the years, I've kind of stopped saying how time heals. I actually believe that action heals, and maybe time needs to be a proportion of that, but really action is what heals anxiety and depression and stress and low self-worth and low self-confidence. It's action, and the actions that I'm talking about, the things that I'm teaching you here, it's acknowledging who you are, seeing yourself as you really know yourself to be, acknowledging the essence of who you are, and saying, right, okay, I'm going to put some strategies in place, which are, you know, part of the book, and I'm going to be going through some with you here as well. You know, putting those in place because you are investable. you are worthy of investing time in yourself, in your well-being. Okay, so if you're going through depression or anxiety or stress, post-traumatic stress disorder, if you're going through, this kind of sense of loneliness or insecurity, confusion, and you've got, different influences around you, remember that you are most definitely in charge of changing the course of your happiness and your well-being. You can do that. And if you can see yourself as being investable in, then that's amazing, right? Because you investing in yourself is like, it's the greatest gift that you can actually give to yourself. This is the first time I've ever shared this. Me investing in myself in terms of, counseling, reading books from incredible women. When I was growing up, there weren't always the kind of examples of successful women that had overcome the things that I was going through at the time. But I was willing to invest in the books or the magazines and, films and whatever it took. I was also, this is really cool, so I was willing to invest in the conversation. There's something for you guys. Be willing to invest in the conversation for your well-being, for your happiness. And for myself, that really came from saying to people, this is something that I'm going through. I'm really not happy. I've been suicidal. I need some help. Can you please help me? And just asking for that was me investing in a conversation about my well-being, which led to counseling, which led to mentoring, which led to coaching, which led to teaching, so think of yourself as absolutely an investable character. And that sounds weird, but you are investable. You are an investment, okay? And it takes action for you to be where you want to be, for you to be happy and empowered and thriving and living a loving life, There's a comment here, so I'm just going to read this. Yes, so Shine was saying she totally agrees. No hating men. There are amazing men out there, 100%. Oh, she loves this message, spreading the love and the power that we women have within ourselves. I love that. Yes, for sure. Absolutely, we need each other. We're here in a beautiful world of very few genders when you think about it. Male, female, and transgender, and we deserve to be in a world which is kind and loving and where we're supportive of one another. So going back to this point about being investable, I hope this is useful for those on the line. So just give me a thumbs up or a heart or a comment. It'll be great. Or just keep staying tuned. Make sure you write notes as well. Going back to this point about being investable, what this essentially means is that you are willing to fill up your own cup. Okay. So filling up your own cup means saying, I am going to acknowledge that I need to focus on myself, on my well-being, put myself first, be selfish, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be selfish. The people who don't like the idea of being selfish are the ones who usually want something from the other person. Just saying. So being selfish means taking care of you, taking care of your emotional world, your physical world, your emotional world, say for example, by coaching, by mentoring, by counseling, by journaling, by releasing, by crying, by feeling your emotions. And I will come back to crying in a moment, actually. Filling up your own cup spiritually, meditating, going within yourself to discover what the meaning is of something, because things only happen in our lives as a mirror, but they also happen to show us kind of how far we are from who we really truly are. And there's a contrast there. So when we know what we don't want, we know what we do want. And so when we're asking ourselves questions like, what do I want and how do I want to feel, this is for This is for you guys. These two questions are so powerful. What do you want and how do you want to feel? When you can start asking yourself those questions on a daily basis, over and over and over again, when you're faced with somebody in your life, whoever they might be, and they want you to do something that you don't want to do, ask yourself, what do you want instead? What do you want instead? Well, how do you want to feel? And then take action to make that happen. So going on that inner journey is a spiritual journey. Personal development is a spiritual journey. And it's really important that you give yourself time and space to find, to be in that space where you can find these wisdoms and these discoveries of who you really are. Acknowledge the time that you need to focus on your mindset. Fill up your cup, which means, work on your mindset. Are there things that you used to believe about yourself when you were 5 years old and 15 years old that are no longer true? Like, do you still have ideas about yourself from when you were younger as a woman, as a girl, and that now as a woman, you don't belong in those spaces anymore? You don't believe in those ideas? Those ideas, it's time to let them go, and we do that through acknowledgement. We do that through journaling, through writing, through drawing, through creating, through dancing, through releasing and letting go of the old person that you were, the previous version, and becoming more and more of who you really are and who you want to be. Super important to fill up your own cup. And if you're concerned that as a woman, if you're filling up your own cup, then other people are missing out, that's not true. It's not true. I've found that to not be true. What it means is that when you're focusing on your well-being, you can actually be there for others. Yeah. So when I choose to spend, when I say to people in my life, loved ones in my life, that I want some time out, or I want some space, or I just want to go to my room and I just want to, be in my own space. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go for a walk. It might look as if, yes, they're missing out, but really they're not. It's because I'm putting myself first. I'm doing something for me, because that situation might be creating anxiety or stress or worries, or it might just be that, all of that talking is too much, which sometimes I find, though I know I can talk a lot, so I just need to kind of step away, go for a walk, go for a swim, go to the gym, take some time out to focus on my well-being, because then when I come back, I have more to share and more to give to my loved ones, to my tribe, to my clients, to my students, to the people in my world, So filling up your own cup is absolutely crucial for you to do, and for you to start practicing and learning how to do, in order for a happier world, for you to thrive as an empowered woman in today's world. Do not apologize for putting your needs first. Everyone else is taken care of. Everyone is okay. But make sure that you are celebrating your time and celebrating, being who you are. You don't want to get to the stage where there comes a point where you realize, hopefully not too late, but you realize that, you didn't spend time doing things that you wanted to, doing the sports that you've really wanted to do, meeting new people, trying courses which are super interesting just to you, whether that's pottery or mechanics or computing or, a specific type of cooking, whatever it might be, learning about aeroplanes and aviation. Like, the world is so incredible. There is so much to learn, and there is no reason at all why, as a woman, as a girl, as another person, why you should not be able to enjoy that, and why you shouldn't be able to put the time in. So make sure that you are always learning and putting the time in for yourself to enjoy and embrace exactly who you really are. Filling up your own cup as well. So there's quite a bit still to get through, but let's keep going. So thank you so much for being here. So filling up your own cup is also about listening to your intuition now as women. So somebody on Instagram posted a picture of like, what's your superpower? And I always answer that my superpower is my intuition, because it's on. Intuition is that inner guidance, and it's this inner voice, because everything starts on the inside. So it's this voice within you that is guiding you along your path. And your intuition will guide you kind of away from somebody or a situation that's not very good for you, and towards, you know, the situations that are good for you. It doesn't ever get it wrong. And it's, I suppose, not even about judging whether your intuition is right or not. It just is. But listening to our intuition is absolutely crucial. As women, we have it more attuned. So men and women, we are all both masculine and feminine energy. And I won't go into so much of the detail, but essentially, intuition is a feminine energy quality, right? And taking action or being decisive, making decisions, is a masculine quality. It's an energy, right? And what we have to do is kind of like go like this between the two. Yeah, so intuition and action, decision making, receiving ideas, giving, and so on, right? So there's these different kind of energies that are always within us. The men that are in my life, I have to say, their intuition amazes me, right? Because they're so on it. It's like, wow, you guys, man, that's just, you know, it's brilliant. I love it. And, you know, some of them might not necessarily understand that it's intuition, but it is incredible. Like, you know, when we're listening to our inner world and what we're able to then create, it's super, super powerful. Listen to your intuition, okay? Your intuition is guiding you for your well-being, 100%. And you deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve to be happy, to enjoy your life, and to make the most of everything that is around for you, you know? Hey, John. Awesome to have you here. So listen to that space of intuition, and practice it. You know, we deserve to, like I said, we deserve to enjoy ourselves and enjoy the life that we're living. Here's a really, really crucial one as well, especially for women. Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm not diminishing or discounting men at all. I have so much love and so much respect, you know, for men. I always have done, and I don't hate on men. I just can't, regardless of the behaviors that could elicit that. Okay, really, really key to kind of put that out there. But really, this is what it's about. To embrace who you really are, you've got to give yourself permission just to be yourself, okay? I hope you guys are taking notes, okay? So, giving yourself permission to just be who you are is really, really powerful, because it's going back to one of the earlier points about recognizing your value. Who you are exactly as you are, the funny person that you are, the loving person that you are, the charismatic, the weird, the quirky, the different woman or girl, person that you are, requires you to just say, this is who I am, and I'm going to accept myself. And as I'm accepting myself, I'm going to give myself permission to be out there in the world as I really truly am. Yeah. And what people will tend to do is they will look for permission from other people. And that looks like validation, or asking somebody's opinion, or, you know, like dismissing your own opinion, letting yourself be easily influenced by others and their voices and their opinions and their perspective. And being a woman and thriving as an empowered woman, becoming more empowered, becoming more like thriving, is all about saying, well, I'm going to give myself permission to be who I am. I'm going to give myself permission to wear this dress. I'm going to give myself permission to do my hair in this style or with this color. I'm going to give myself permission to go for that job that maybe I won't get, but I'm going to give myself permission to apply for it. And I'm going to give myself permission to show up during the interview exactly as the best version I am, and stay focused on our own space. Stay focused in that place of, right, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be that confident woman that I know I can be. I'm going to have that self-belief, actually, which is more valuable, more powerful than confidence, because confidence can wane, but self-belief is solid. Your self-belief is you, and you know who you are. So giving yourself permission just to be yourself, funny, loving, caring, charismatic, weird, random, spontaneous, do it. No one else is going to do that for you. That comes from you. And this is about self-talk, you know, acknowledging that self-talk, acknowledging that the language that is going on in here is positive, it's empowering, it's loving, it's caring, and that you are loving yourself as best you possibly can. Love yourself, going back to one of the earlier points about filling your own cup, I do feel to say this, like, love yourself so that you can be there for others. Take care of your well-being. Take care of your needs. Take some time out from, you know, from the relationships in your life. Isn't, you know, if that means a couple of hours, you know, if you've got a family and you just find yourself stressed, or there's a lot happening, there's health issues, or there's challenges at work, challenges in relationships, you know, divorce, separation, whatever it might be, take some time out to take care of yourself. Really, really important, and no one can do that for you. As I was saying at the beginning, no one can walk your path. We're all walking this path together, right? We're all walking this path together, and you're not alone. But it is one of these things where that journey to becoming empowered and to thriving has to be walked by you. And it is incredible when you start like making decisions for your well-being, and how the universe supports you, and how people will come into your life that are there to encourage you, to support you, to keep you going. I can't even tell you the people in my life, the people that I've met, you know, it might have been a stranger. I did actually write about it in the book as well. There was an older man. I was going through a really, really hard time. This was, I think I must have been in my early 20s, and I was feeling suicidal again. And I was in my own world, I was in my own space, and this older man was walking towards me, but there's something about him, there was something about his aura, there was such like a grandfatherly kind of vibe about him. And he just looked at me, and he just kind of put his hand on my shoulder, and it felt like he was just saying, "You're going to be okay." And there were no words exchanged, and that was it. And I was just like, wow, you know, he had a smile on his face, and was like, wow, okay, I get what that means. And that was on an energetic level. It was an incredible experience. But that one person kept me going that day, do you know? And so it's really important that we're there for ourselves, and that we recognize that other people are supporting us as well. All right, so I hope this is all good. So thumbs up, loves, likes, hearts, whatever, comments, feel free to post them. If you have any questions, do post them as well. I'll be answering them. Loving yourself has got to be a must. Okay, loving yourself as the woman that you are, as the girl that you are, as the person that you are right now, the man that you are, the boy that you are. Loving yourself first, and loving yourself has to be a must. Taking care of who you are, yay! Taking care of who you are is absolutely crucial, and it has to become a must. It can't be a non-negotiable. And this is from personal experience. What I found is that I could not meet other people's needs as well as meet my own needs. I couldn't say yes to 5 other people in my life, friends, family, relationship, you know, partner, and so on, and say yes to myself all at the same time. At some point, I realized, okay, I have to put myself first, and I will come and meet your needs, whatever they might be, whether that's cooking with you, or going for a walk with you, or taking you to the shops, or going out for dinner, you know, whatever it might be. At that point, I had to say, this is a must. My well-being is a must, and that means other things have to go by the wayside. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. At the end of the day, like I said, this is a path of your journey to becoming empowered, your journey to thriving, and your journey to being happy, so that you can be there for others. this is really powerful stuff, guys. Okay, so make sure you're taking that notes and that you're going to practice this as well. I'd love for you to commit to yourself that you're going to be practicing this. You'll see the rewards. You'll see the rewards are absolutely amazing. Connect with a tribe and celebrate with each other as well. So this is part of filling up your own cup. If you spend a lot of time at home with your family, or if you spend a lot of time in your business, if you spend a lot of time either just on your own, we have, as human beings, we have this innate desire to be connected with others. There is this fear of rejection and abandonment, and that's kind of like the shadow aspect of kind of loneliness and wanting to be around others. But really, I went super deep, just like really what we're wanting to do is to connect with others, connect with a tribe, connect with like-minded people. And this means just exploring, putting yourself out there, finding out what's in your local area, check out Google or other search engines, you know, check out meetup.com as well, see what events are around you, try something different, go for, I don't know, face painting course, I don't know, tapestry, art, sports. You definitely see me at the kind of the rally driving courses and abseiling and rock climbing and crazy shit like that, because I'm a tomboy at heart. But this is about connecting with people that you would enjoy speaking to and getting to know. And it doesn't have to become a friendship. Who knows? I mean, you can't really predict that in so many ways. Friends will come into your life and they'll go, and that's just normal and it's okay. But connecting with a tribe and celebrating with others is amazing. My tribe, I love my tribe of trailblazers all over the world. It's just growing and growing. These are men and women who, no matter what has happened in their lives, are still determined enough to go after their dreams, to put their well-being first, to understand how their mind works, to make better decisions, to go after their dreams, to do incredible things in this world. And this tribe of trailblazers is just amazing. I love connecting with you guys in whatever shape or form. You know, there's so many different places that I'm always on, and you know, Insta stories, Snapchat, Facebook, groups as well, LinkedIn, just everywhere. But what this does, in fact, I'll share this with you as well, what this does for me is that it gives me this sense of, definitely gives me a sense of purpose, because what I'm doing is helping to create more leaders. So I know that I'm a leader, thought leader, and I understand what that is and what that means. And really for me, that's like, I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher. And what I do is I'm helping to create other leaders. So you're a leader. If you're on this call and you're watching this video, and if you're part of my tribe, you are a leader. And when you connect with people that you enjoy being with, you're becoming a leader. You're stepping into this space of acknowledging your power and saying, yeah, you know, I'm talking to people, I'm speaking with people, sharing ideas with people who are different or like myself. And so I'm stepping into a new world, or I'm doing something different. You're leading yourself down a course which is of your preference, yeah? And that's really, really powerful. So celebrate with each other, meditate, take some time to enjoy your inner world. Like I said earlier, we have so many different capacities. There are so many different aspects of all of us. We've got, you know, emotional aspect, the mental, spiritual, psychological, physical, you know, all of these things. These are aspects of ourselves that are well-being. So our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being, our physical well-being, you know, all requires different action. It all requires, it all requires different action. It all requires different strategies to connect with who you truly are as a woman or as a man, boy or a girl, to connect with yourself, to find that space of you within you, which is empowered. The most powerful way is meditation. And what essentially meditation means is that you're taking time to reflect in your own world. You're taking time to reflect on what's important to you, on what is working for you, what means something for you, what was that even grammatically correct? I'm so in my zone now. But you're in that space when you're meditating of not looking externally, but bringing the focus back on to you within, in your inner world. And your inner world is what you're creating. And this might go deep, but I'm going to go there. Everything, every single thing that you see on my social media about things that I've achieved and things that I've gained and things that I've lost and everything, it's always been because it started on the inside and then was reflected on the outside. Because my well-being is a must, taking care of myself is a must, I've gone into that space of meditation, guided meditation, silent meditation. When I go to the gym, I'm meditating, on the treadmill, on the bike, or whatever I'm using, the rowing machine. Like I'm in that space of what's important to me. I'm asking myself questions. So I'm going to give you a really cool tip. Coach yourself, ask yourself questions all the time, have a conversation with yourself. It's totally okay to talk to yourself out loud. I clearly am doing this right now, even though I know that you guys are there, watching, listening. Talking to ourselves is crucial, because what you're doing is you're discovering who you really truly are. You're discovering more and more of your potential, and you're opening doors into your inner world, which is your joy and your responsibility. There's so much power in that, honestly, so much power. So we're nearly coming up to the last part, and I'm going to try and finish this within the next couple of, 10 minutes. So I really appreciate you guys for being here. For those of you that have been online, I really do appreciate it. Feel free to post any comments and any questions as well, and I'll answer the questions within the next 10 minutes or so, okay? So acknowledge, so this next part is really about stepping into that space. In fact, before I go there, filling up your own cup, which is the part that I've just covered, is about doing something different. It is about exploration, self-exploration, okay? So putting in the strategies and the actions to create new pathways, to create new results, to create new desires, to create new ambitions. Like, you've got to do that from the inside. And when you do that from the inside, as you're filling up your own cup, you'll come to this space of acknowledging what your truest, deepest heart's desires are and what your dreams are. And this is where intuition is really important, okay? Because if your dreams and desires are to do incredible things in this world with the collective, with like the mass, with thousands of people, millions of people, and that's something for, years down the line, but you're in this space of fear of like, oh my gosh, okay, I've heard that from my inner world, I've heard that from my intuition, that this is something important for me. But there's this fear of kind of stepping into who you have to be. Listen to your intuition and take the steps slowly but surely, okay? When it comes to creating businesses where we're thriving, where we're loving what we're doing, where we're making decisions based on our well-being, listen to your intuition. Because when you can acknowledge what your dreams and your desires are from within, you're guided every single step of the way to make it happen, or to allow it to really happen. And you'll start seeing that the universe is supporting you. So acknowledge what they are and respect your inner world. And this was the point I was making earlier about giving yourself permission as well. Give yourself permission to dream big. Give yourself permission to achieve incredible things. Give yourself permission to uphold your boundaries and to say, that's unacceptable, behavior, or the way that you're speaking to me is unacceptable, whatever it might be. And that, for some people watching this video at some point in time, it might be really important for you to remember and to hear what I'm saying here, is if you are in a situation which is unhealthy and which is violent or abusive, seek help, walk away. Doesn't matter who it is, you deserve to be treated like a queen. You deserve to be treated like a queen, and you deserve to be treated like a king for the boys and the men who are in situations which are unhealthy as well. And that's why, like I was saying in the beginning, I don't hate on men, and I find it sometimes like I have to acknowledge men and boys in this conversation as well. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a really powerful question, okay, that you've got to ask yourself to explore who you are becoming, okay? So this question is, who do you have to become in order to have what you want? Who do you have to become in order to have the business that you want? Who do you have to become in order to have the family that you want? Who do you have to become in order to have the friendships that you desire? Who do you have to become in order to have the freedom that you want? And what you'll find is when you take that journey of, like, on a piece of paper, you know, just write down, blank piece of paper, who do I have to become in order to have ... and fill it in. Who do you have to become in the future? Who are you currently? And what is that gap? And then close that gap. That's a really, if you do this, feel free to send me a message and to show me a photo as well, because it will be amazing. It will be absolutely amazing to see that. At the end of the day, you are creating yourself. You are here to enjoy being who you are, to embrace thriving, to embrace, you know, feeling empowered and being an empowered woman. So do what you've got to do, you know, really do what you've got to do by challenging the beliefs. So if you have any beliefs around, well, not even if you have any beliefs around money, the beliefs that you have around money, challenge them, okay? Look at what they are. I've got a video on my YouTube channel called, what was it called? Breaking the Illusions Around Money. I think that's what it's called. And it's a really, really powerful video where I share with you, you know, some of the illusions about money. Money is just energy. That's all it is. It's just energy. And it's not tied to our self-worth. When we start stepping into a place of abundance in ourselves, we start to attract more and more money. And that comes from the first point that I was making about respecting your value and recognizing your value. When you respect and recognize your value, you acknowledge what you're worth, and you will not accept anything less. I really hope that you go through this video and that you're taking loads of notes, and that you start putting some really important, valuable strategies in place to start bringing these changes into your life. This is super powerful stuff. Accept yourself as a woman. Accept yourself as a woman who has the right to enjoy being a woman. Accept yourself as the woman who has the right to enjoy her thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas, your creativity, your charisma, your sensuality, your sexuality. Accept yourself as you are and embrace it, enjoy it. Do what you've got to do to make the very, very most of who you are today. Because it's your life. This is your life. This is your life experience, and it can be as abundant as it is. It can be as abundant as you want it to be, regardless of the patriarchal system, which most of the people watching this video anyway, will be living in. We live in a patriarchal society where decisions are made from that kind of masculine point of view, and it has obviously been going on for thousands of years, and there is such an imbalance. And there's such an imbalance of that masculine energy, right? So I'm talking about energy, I'm not talking about men specifically, I'm talking about that masculine energy. And when masculine energy is unbalanced, it's in the ego, which has a grip. So the ego is made up of illusions and is essentially fear. That is what ego is. Ego equals fear, okay? The ego, when the masculine energy is in the ego space unbalanced, it looks like controlling, manipulative behavior, thoughts, and language, okay? When it's a woman, okay, so when it's a woman who's in that ego space, that language and that behavior comes across as bitchiness, as insecurity, as dependency, and so on. And what is happening now on a collective, much bigger scale is that women are rising. women are stepping into their power. And it might mean that there are going to be arguments with the men in your lives as you become more and more who you really truly are. Know this much: you have it in you. You have the courage, you have the strength, you have the resilience to go through what you need to go through in order to become who you really want to become. Change is normal. Change and personal evolution is normal. That is just how life works. That is just what life is. And it's really, really important to acknowledge that at the end of the day, you are here to enjoy being yourself. You are here to enjoy loving your life. Wow, really an hour. Okay, so thriving. Take risks and do something different. Thrive. Put all of these things that I've shared with you into practice and take risks for your happiness, for your well-being. You're super, super, super resilient. You have it within you to be the best version that you ever can be, regardless of the discrimination that is out there. And I'm saying this as an example. I'm saying this as a woman that has walked that path. I've walked that discrimination. I've experienced discrimination for being a girl, for being a woman, for being Asian, for being Muslim, for speaking like I do, for coming from where I come from, for the color of my skin, for my attitude to putting myself first. It's that discrimination has been there, but I have not let it stop me from becoming more of who I really am, because I come from a place of integrity and I've got a good heart. You know, I've got a good heart which deserves to be out there as an example. You know, do what you believe. Oh, do what you believed you could never do. This is really cool. If there are things to thrive in your life, in your relationships, in your workplace, in your business, in your, you know, with all the different dreams and ideas that you have, do what you believe that you could never do. Okay, acknowledge them, write them down, and go for those big dreams, because those big dreams, they are yours. And it doesn't have to mean that a big dream is something that the whole world knows about. A big dream could just be you, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be you fostering, it could be you starting up your own business, you know, for families, or it could be something to do with the family. Everyone has different dreams, but allow yourself to go for them. Embrace the unknown and take on new challenges. We're here to learn. Every single day we want to learn. And in order to get through fear, you've got to dissipate fear. There are lots of other techniques and strategies that I'll be sharing with you guys in other videos. And they won't be as long as this one, but I wanted to do a bit of a special one today. Embrace the unknown and take on new challenges. And when you take on new challenges, you're actually facing your fears. And by facing your fears in a safe environment, you are then allowing yourself to experience new things and to step into who you are in a safe way. And that's really cool. That's really, really cool. It's something that I've done all my life. All the different courses and the places that I've traveled and the people that I've met, like I've literally, everything has been about taking a risk and doing it in a way where it feels safe. And then those risks that are just inevitable, where you don't know what's going to happen, you know, you've got to say, right, I'm brave enough to do this. I have the courage within myself to do this. So last few points then, the problems, this is something that's really interesting. So people seem to think that problems, you know, it's like you want problems to just go away and you want to never have any problems. And the truth of the matter is, a problem and an opportunity is just a perspective. Okay, so this is one of my crystals. This is a moonstone, divine feminine crystal. This could be seen as the problem, right? Just the whole thing. But one person might be looking at this side and seeing an opportunity, and one person might be looking at that side and seeing it as a problem. Your perspective is everything. This thing is still what it is, but it's how you choose to see it. And as you get better and better at personal development and mindset, mental well-being and mindset, you'll recognize that problems don't go away. they're opportunities. There are always opportunities for learning. And so life gets easier because you recognize a problem as an opportunity first, you see it as an opportunity, and you learn what you need to learn, and then you get through it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, really, really powerful. The problems change, but life does get easier, but you have to start where you are. You have to start where you are. So I've got literally just a couple of minutes or a minute or two. If you have any questions, please do post them below and I'll answer them before I go. Here's a Leila's Wise vibe for you guys just before I go. Life gets better if you are willing for it to get better. So this came through earlier on as I was putting down some notes. Life gets better if you are willing for it to get better. If you want to thrive, if you want to be empowered, if you want to do amazing things in this life, life will get better from your willingness to take action, to do something different, to try something different, to step into new shoes, literally if that needs to be the case, you know, to go for a job that you've never gone for, to go for that promotion, to set up a business, to do something part-time, to travel on your own, to travel in with friends, to go to a country that you've never been to. If you're willing for those things, if you're willing to try something different, then life will get better if you are willing for it to get better. Okay.